and gentlemen. All right, let me see now. Welcome back to WorldSkills Croatia 2025.
Woo!
You're having a slight after-lunch dip, but I think we are energetic enough for the next session, and this is a very important one. It's called BeChangeMaker. And all I need to do, and I wish all my moderating assignments were like this, is to pass on the floor to none other than, oh, wait, I'm already somewhere else. Apologies. To the Partnership Program Manager at WorldSkills, Oliver Dubois-Dubelly. Give him a big applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ali, and thank you, everyone, and welcome to the BeChangeMaker 2025 live final pitch here in Dubrovnik, Croatia, as part of the WorldSkills Croatia Conference 2025. BeChangeMaker is a program that was launched in 2017 as a joint venture between WorldSkills International and HP. Recently, we've been joined by UNESCO Univoc as well. The program empowers young social entrepreneurs to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. For the 2025 program, we've reached over 1,000 applications from 117 different countries. That's the biggest number we've had so far. So the way this final pitch will work is that we'll have 5 teams that obviously we had to decide of the top 5 teams from 30 initially selected from the 1,000, which was very, very tough. As you can imagine, those top 30 teams were then put through a very intensive program of coaching and mentoring over 3 months, 2 online pitches, a few tiers here and there, I'm sure, and then only 5 were selected to join us here today. So the way the pitch will work is that these 5 teams will come up one by one. They'll have 5 minutes each to pitch, and we'll have 3 judges on stage with us, who I'll introduce shortly, who will have 3 minutes to ask them questions while live voting. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our judges for today's session. The first judge is Juan Pablo de Villa, the Head of Skills Development, Entrepreneurship, and Fair Production Unit at UNIDO.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Juan Pablo.
Okay.
The second is Kenny Muscat, the Program Officer from UNESCO Univoc. Thank you, Kenny. And then finally, a longtime friend of the program and a recurring judge, Marcus Schwertel, Director of Government Affairs and Public Policy at HP, trying to escape the applause. And now, to ensure that you guys don't fall asleep during this session, you'll be able to also show your support yourselves by scanning this QR code or entering the address yourselves manually on your phones. So you'll be able to use your email address to register, and then you can evaluate the teams based on the 3 different criteria up on the screen here. You'll only be able to vote once, so make it count, and your scores will only be added as a bonus to the scores given by the judges. I'll give you guys a couple seconds here just to scan this, because I will not be showing this again. And this is only reserved to those who are in the session today and not on our live stream over on Facebook. Okay. Everyone's good? Perfect. Okay, now to the reason we're all here, the finalists. I'm going to announce the first team that will be coming on stage to present. So the team is Team Regen from Nepal, represented by Priya and Akriti. Regen empowers children in climate-affected regions through hands-on learning and tools that inspire awareness and action. So please give a big hand for Team Regen.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We are Team Regen. Let me start with a profound number. 600 million children in South Asia are in the front lines of climate change. But behind that number are stories and faces we never see, just like that of Sugam. On his 5th birthday, Sugam lost his mother and aunt in a landslide. His grandmother got paralyzed, and his grandfather is having a really hard time raising him all alone. In a single event, he lost his home, his mother, his education, his birth certificate, making his identity even more uncertain. And that's not that. It's not the most tragic part of the story, or neither the gut-wrenching one. Sugam's story is just a minute representation of millions of children facing similar realities in South Asia. They face loss as the first lesson in climate change, and yet education, the most powerful tool to protect them, is mentioned only once in Paris Agreement and is captured by only 1% of the global climate finance. That's why we built Regen's 2 connecting lifelines, our crisis response playbox and our offline-first web app. Our crisis response playbox is a child-friendly, crisis-ready toolkit with emotion cards, guided lessons, and mini climate stories so that children are less anxious and less fearful to tackle their local climate challenges. Every year, teachers are trained to equip children and prepare them before the monsoon hits. Not just that, our offline-first web app is connecting millions of children in Nepal so that they can study and learn fully offline games, challenges, and climate sessions, interactive discussions by loading them on school SD cards and school devices so that even when internet is not there, children can learn day-to-day new content of climate. And we are already growing. In just 3 months, we have reached 675 children in 3 districts. With a successful test of both kit and app, 87% of our children are showing more confidence and less anxiety to battle climate change. Not just that, we have partnered with 40 local governments and 10 in-kind partners and secured even a $5,000 CSR grant from a leading bank in Nepal. Here's how our kit actually reaches children like Sugam. First, we partner with local hubs to co-design, manufacture the kit, especially with women-led communities in Nepal. Later, we validate the content with a leading entity in South Asia named ASMask. Then, we partner with schools and governments so that every kit reaches children like Sugam to build a climate-resilient world.
We envision a future where, in next 10 years, the stories like that of Sugam does not repeat. And to ensure that, this is how our growth unfolds. Over the next 3 years, we'll work on stabilizing the cells of the playbox all across Nepal through CSR partnerships, B2B engagements, and B2C collaboration, while developing, deploying, and enhancing our web app. Once we've built a strong foundation at home, we will scale beyond Nepal to Bhutan, Bangladesh, and India, leveraging the BBIN Alliance. This expansion aligns with the Alliance's primary focus of combating climate crisis, making our regional growth both strategic and feasible. In the long run, we expect Regen to become an omni-channel platform for climate education, where our web app acts as a key driver for recurring revenue. Coming to revenue and financial feasibility, in year 1, we expect to earn a revenue of $130,000, mostly through CSR partnerships and some through direct B2B sales to the schools within Kathmandu Valley. In year 2, we hope to close at $280,000, reaching over 35,000 students through CSR partnerships, but with more of a strong focus on direct B2B and B2C sales. By the end of the year 3, we expect our web app to be completely deployed and even monetized, earning revenue of 5% revenue of the total revenue projection of $450,000. Our revenue model builds on a strong CSR foundation, but strategically transitions into a sustainable multi-stream revenue system that blends impact, scalability, and long-term growth. Today, from this platform, we appeal for CSR partnerships and grants worth $20,000. This fund will help us kickstart the development of our web app, start mass production of our play boxes, and amplify our visibility. Please scan the QR code shown on the screen and connect with us. Join us in our journey of changing lives of 600 million children across South Asia, one playbox at a time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Regen. Just a reminder to the judges, this will be Team Regen. The order is not the same, but just to make sure. I'll start the questions off with you, Marcus.
Well, then, let's see if that works. It says green.
Yeah.
I just speak, yeah. I love technology. So thanks for this presentation. My question goes to, who are your competitors? So what other offerings are there and why are you better?
Thank you for the question. So first thing is, no other competitors in South Asia have both kit that provides durable and modular learning, parallelly with a digital tool such as a web app. Like simultaneously, they do not provide both kit and app, which makes us already more competitive than most of the competitors out there. There are several competitors in South Asia. One of them is BRAC Nepal. There is Seed. And parallelly, even I have to mention the most long-lasting companies in this particular challenge, as I already mentioned, they are not working in climate education with both agile quality education as well as a digital resilience so that both urban students as well as rural students go parallelly with learning. That's why we are more competitive than most of them present there. Thank you.
Thank you. Juan Pablo.
Thank you. Really like the idea coming from my background and the United Nations side. You mentioned that the cost is $8. What is one question, actually two questions. What is the price of sale? And you mentioned that you would need grants at the beginning. Do you consider to have it after grants that you no longer will be needing grants and will be sustainable?
Thank you for the question. So the $8 projection is based on the quotations that we have received from the vendors that will be producing our kit. So right now we are working on CSR grants alone. So when we sign up for the CSR grants, it's more of this is our cost of production and this is the number of students that will be reaching with the amount that you provide us. So it does not strictly remain with the $8 bracket. That's more directed towards the direct sales that we plan to do with the B2B directly with the schools and the government. But with the CSR grants, we are more flexible because right now we just need some kind of money to get started. Does that answer your question, sir?
And we've already received $5,000 to scale up, but just in the beginning, we definitely need some grants.
Great. Thank you. And then finally, Kenny.
So well done for the presentation. I like that you made it personal by showing us a story as well. You mentioned you made reference to children, kids, and anxiety. Did you also discuss with a psychologist or professional? And if yes, what feedback did you get from them? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. We've already pulled in 10 people who actually work in child education in terms of climate resilience, and 5 of them are from Nepal. And parallelly, we're working with ICIMOD. It's the leading institution for climate resilience in South Asia. They're going to proofread and validate and connect us with people who actually work in this area so that our content is exactly accurate and tailored for the children. Hence, we are already working on that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Team Regen. Let's give it up for them one more time. Thank you. And now we're going to announce the next team. So the team is called AsMask, and they're from Denmark, and they're represented here by Lucas and Emil. AsMask Fun Spacer helps children with asthma breathe easier through fun, reliable, and kid-friendly design. Thank you.
many of you are parents? Now imagine using physical force in order to medicate your child. The issue here is not only about trust, it's also about proper medication. Pediatric asthma isn't just a medical condition, it's a daily conflict. Children resist their treatment. Some cry, some panic, some run. Parents, often desperate, are forced to use physical force in order to hold down their child, just to deliver life-saving medicine. This struggle ultimately leads to improper treatment. Improper treatment can cause irreversible fibrosis damage, permanent lung scarring that limits the lung's ability to transfer oxygen into the bloodstream. The result? Reduced lung capacity, hospital visits, and a life where some children may struggle to breathe, play, and live fully.
I've had asthma since childhood. I've experienced the fear myself. And together with my co-founders, we created FunSpacer to solve this silent but serious problem. FunSpacer is a soft, flexible, and child-friendly asthma spacer, made from medical-grade CPU, a non-toxic, non-allergenic material. With an ISO 10993 certification, it ensures that it is safe for medical use. It is designed to reduce feelings of restraint and fear, turning medication time from a struggle into a playful routine. This is the current status quo. We're challenging that. We have just finished our 5th prototype, the first printed and flexible CPU, and we are closing in on our minimal viable product, ready for real-world testing. FunSpacer also opens up a world of design possibilities. The FunSpacer mask can be adjusted to fit different ages, tailored for children's interests, making it easy to follow trends and popular characters. Taking inspiration from astronauts, superheroes, and princesses. Along the way, we reached some milestones. Through a survey in relevant Facebook groups, 55 families expressed their interest. We won the Life Science Award at the Danish Entrepreneurship Championship. We received a microgrant providing early funding, and we secured mentorship from Bristol Myers Squibb and Genmab, strengthening our scientific and business foundation. And at last, we have a partnership with the pediatric respiratory departments at GlovaTrix and Odense Hospital, both of whom will help us test FunSpacer and provide critical feedback.
In Denmark, 72,000 children aged 2 to 7 live with asthma. In year 1, we aim for 7% market penetration, equal to 5,000 masks. With an introduction price on the Danish market of 40 euros, that generates 200,000 euros in revenue and 92,000 euros in net profit. From there, we scale across Europe, targeting a combined market of 4.5 million children. By year 9, with a total of 12% market penetration, that corresponds to over 550,000 masks, generating 19 million euros in revenue and 7.9 million euros in net profit. Our approach is designed to be financially sustainable from the start. We begin with 3D manufacturing, minimizing upfront investments. Initially, sales will be directed to hospitals and end customers.
Clinical tests will be carried out through our partnership with Odense and GlovaTrix Hospital. To make this possible, we are working with a mentor from the 3D industry who has connected us with 2 companies who specialize in 3D manufacturing of medical devices. In parallel, we have applied for 2 grants that will allow us to set up a small in-house production for design testing and raise the capital needed for a small batch production.
Looking ahead, we're in dialogue with an IPR consultant to ensure that FunSpacer is properly protected. And lastly, we turn to all of you and the jury. If you or someone in your network can connect us with people or organizations who can help accelerate AsMask and bring FunSpacer faster to market, we would be grateful for your support. Children fight treatment, and parents end up fighting their kids. We just want to get back to fighting asthma. Fight asthma, not your child.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. We'll start the questions off with Kenny this time.
Well done for your presentation. You were clear, concise, very interesting. You mentioned that 55 families showed interest in your product. Can you tell us why? Did they tell you why they showed interest in this?
Yeah, it was made through a Facebook. We reached out to a Facebook group where 55 families responded on different questions. They first got asked to tell us about their experience with the current medication form, their struggles, if they had anyone. Over 90% said they daily have struggles with it. And lastly, we asked them, would you be interested in buying new alternatives if some were to reach the market? And 95% of all parents said yes, absolutely.
Great. Thank you. Juan Pablo?
Thank you. A quick question. How would you manage intellectual property related to the mask and the design of the mask? Because you mentioned superheroes. Do you have any partnerships on the way?
With the superhero designs, there are of course some difficulties with the IPR rights from Disney and Warner Bros. But that is something we are willing to explore for the future as partnerships.
Great. And finally, Marcus.
Thank you. So when I look at the price per mask, how much would that go down when you scale? So what's the business feasibility to scale up?
Well, the current unit price we pay to produce a mask is €5.50. But this is with 3D printing. When we switch over time, we will switch to injection molding, which would make the production cost go as low as €0.50. And then we can, but the problem is this is the startup cost. It costs €60,000 per design. So when we use 3D printing to raise the capital needed to use injection molding, and then we can differentiate higher prices across the world, depending on the country and such, and then the price will go down as well.
Great. Thank you so much, team. Thank you, Team AsMask. The third team that we're going to invite up to the stage is Team GlovaTrix from India, represented by Aishwarya and Rudra. GlovaTrix uses AI to bridge sign language and speech, empowering hearing impaired individuals to communicate freely and confidently. Please give it up for Team GlovaTrix.
Hello, good day everyone. I'm Aishwarya from India, the founder of GlovaTrix. Let me start with a very interesting story. I'm sorry, was that uncomfortable? Just 10 seconds of silence and you felt left out? Now imagine what 466 million deaf people in this world feel like every day. For them, it's not a temporary glitch. It is the constant feeling of exclusion from conversations, opportunities, and dignity. And that is exactly what we aim to change at GlovaTrix. It all started when I was in school. With me is Atharv, a 6-year-old deaf child who was lonely because no one knew how to talk to him. So I learned sign language and asked him, "Will you be my friend?" He was so happy. All he wanted was to be heard. And that tiny moment became the seed of GlovaTrix, revealing a giant problem, that a majority of the people don't understand sign language, as a result of which millions of deaf people are left unheard. So we built the solution. This is Fifth Sense, AI-based gloves that translate sign language to voice and voice to text in real time. It is made of breathable, durable material that can be easily washed. It consists of microphone, microcontroller, sensor, screen, and a speaker which delivers clear audio in any language. For example, okay, it is supposed to say, hello, how are you, or whatever the sign language translation there is. It also captures the replies of the people and displays it in the form of text. It also listens to cute background sounds, like baby crying, fire alarm, and alerts the user in the form of vibrations. We are currently on our 8th product iteration with 98% accuracy and a patent in motion. We have validated this with over 25,000 deaf users over the last 5 years. So every feature truly reflects what they genuinely need, a true solution built hand in hand. We have conducted 25 pilot programs which have fetched us purchase orders from a hotel agency that hires deaf people. This pilot was a smashing success, and the hotel chain issued a corporate mandate to hire 10 deaf people in every outlet across 110 outlets. So that means 1,000 jobs unlocked and 1,000 gloves in demand. And now more industries are joining in. We start with CSR-funded pilot programs and then move to company-wide rollouts, pricing each pair at $500. So our cost price falls from $200 in small batches to just $50 at scale, while our margins grow from 60% today to over 90% at scale. So we plan to do 5 pilot programs with organizations that hire deaf people in hospitality and retail. By end of year 1, we will have 500 gloves deployed across 7 organizations, generating $250,000 in revenue. Over the next 2 years, as we expand globally, we will cross 10,000 units, generating $4 million in revenue. We scale by partnering with top 5 NGOs that handle 85% of the deaf skilling and placements in India. We incorporate these gloves in their training process so that these NGOs can tell the companies that the trained deaf candidates are not just job ready, but also communication ready from day one if you provide them with Fifth Sense gloves. The companies adopt instantly, knowing that it comes from a reliable source and knowing that the gloves are pre-validated in the training. Along the way, we got many awards and achievements from national and international organizations such as WIPO, Boeing, UN, etc. But more important than that is the impact that we are creating. With Fifth Sense, everyday barriers are shattered and deaf lives are transformed. From childhood friendships to graduating with pride. From landing the job to excelling it with confidence. From wedding vows to healing after heartbreak. From private conversations with the doctor to taking an active voice in your child's education. From winning medals to delivering your truth on the world stage. Fifth Sense gives every sign language a voice and every deaf user the power to be heard. And very soon, I promise you that a very talented deaf entrepreneur will be standing on this stage delivering their pitch at BeChangeMaker in sign language while our gloves do the translation. That is the world we aim to create, truly inclusive, truly equal. If you have connected with our vision, please get in touch and let's build this world together in which no Atharva has to face social isolation again. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Just a quick reminder to the judges to submit your scores as you're going along, just so we have them in the system. I'll start the questions off with Juan Pablo.
Thank you, very impressive. What barriers could limit your scaling up, and how can you overcome?
Thank you for the question. So, assistive tech is looked at sometimes with some sort of taboo. For example, hearing aid, when it came out, the behind the ear hearing aid, it was associated with some sort of shame. But here we are ensuring that these gloves don't face the same thing, and we have taken some measures to protect it. Firstly, we are entering the market via B2B. That is, we will be giving these gloves to deaf employees who are financially independent and working for big organizations. So that gives the deaf community an aspirational values that using these gloves, deaf people are able to make their own living. So it already has an aspirational aspect to it. At the same time, we have also launched a podcast called Definitely Loud, which brings out the deaf stories to make sure that this product is accepted very well.
Great. Thank you. Marcus.
Thank you. From a landscape perspective, who you are working with, so your B2B customers, what other, and I saw a lot on the slides, what is your biggest bet? Who is where's the highest potential for your product in this business customer world?
So in the business customer world, we are entering the market via B2B, and we are starting with hospitality and retail. Because in the Indian landscape, most of the deaf people that are employed are into hospitality and retail, into customer-facing jobs. For example, there are many deaf receptionists, deaf waiters, deaf flight attendants, but as of now, they are limited to lifting dirty dishes and pouring water, even though they are capable of so much more. So through these gloves, we want to unleash their true potential, and that is why we are starting with hospitality and retail, and then expanding to more verticals.
Thank you. Kenny.
So well done for the presentation. I really like the concept. I wanted to ask about the price of $500. Do you have feedback about this? Can it be seen as maybe too expensive? And is it possible to lower that down, perhaps?
Absolutely. So the price is $500 because right now we are working with small batches. As we scale, the price comes down to almost $50. And that is why we want to enter the market via B2B, because big organizations can afford this price point using their CSRs. And that's how we reach the end customer as of now. But eventually, as we scale, we want to do a B2C next year when our price point comes lower, so that we can pass on this discount to other people, to B2C. Also, right now, because we are producing in small batches, we are heavily reliant on China and other countries. So when that comes into the picture, there is a lot of customs duty and logistics price that we have to pay. So as we scale, we will move the operations back to our home country, wherein we don't have to pay the customs duty and logistics, which will bring our price down.
Great. Thank you, Aishwarya and Rudra. And one more time for Team GlovaTrix.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. The fourth team in this year's final pitch will be Team U3 Linked, representing Canada, and they'll be represented by Astara and Emel. U3 Linked is a youth-led social movement creating spaces of belonging and resilience in response to the global loneliness crisis. So please put your hands together for Team U3 Linked.
Over 15 years of experience in youth engagement, participatory design, and facilitation. That's why we created the Belonging Studio, creative pop-up workshops where youth come together to share stories, build better futures, and also discover belonging.
Quick show of hands, how many of you have ever felt lonely before?
Well, you're not alone. Over 400 million youth globally report feeling lonely.
The numbers are even higher for low-income, newcomer, and racialized youth. Loneliness doesn't just affect mental health, it shapes futures. It has a massive impact on economic unemployment, high school dropout rates, and limited earning potential.
In Ottawa, where we reside, even modest reductions in youth loneliness could save 600 million in socioeconomic costs and also generate nearly 3 billion in lifetime earnings.
And still, solutions that currently exist remain clinical, siloed, inaccessible, or transactional, which leaves so many youth globally without the spaces for joy, belonging, and connection.
And that's where the Belonging Studio comes in. Community-based workshops where youth come together to explore belonging through creativity, storytelling, and play.
It's not a program for youth, it's co-created with them at the center.
Now we have two formats for delivery. We have our live workshops. So basically youth come together to explore belonging through storytelling prompts and a card-based game like the one we've prototyped, as well as collective role-building activities. And we also have a plug-and-play toolkit for Belonging Studio facilitators to replicate the Belonging Studio anywhere around the world.
This shifts the conversation away from program delivery into social design, where youth have a chance to reimagine, to create, to lead their own projects in their own contexts.
And it's a low-cost, scalable, and adaptable to schools, libraries, and any other community space you can imagine, which means that belonging becomes both tangible and teachable.
So this is how it works. We'll be using the card-based game, as well as the storytelling prompts, to ask questions like, how can cities be built with belonging at the center, with integrations from youth?
And from there, youth co-design. They sketch out new ideas, they prototype interventions, and they also reflect on what belonging means to them in their everyday lives.
Each studio workshop becomes a living lab for belonging, joyful, creative, artful, and deeply human.
And we're also planning to train Belonging Studio facilitators through our toolkit and by hosting full-day training sessions so they can replicate the Belonging Studio in their own communities, which means that the movement for belonging continues to grow long after we leave the room.
Our digital engagement has increased. We've seen this in increased visibility, professional interactions, and engagement, and this has also led to increased community collaborations, which we hope to continue to expand further.
And we've only launched the Belonging Studio 3 months ago, and we've had a very successful launch phase to date. We have partnered with over 40 community members and founders. We have secured 2 community partnerships offering us free venue space for all of our events, and we've also developed a very unique MVP.
We've also secured funding from the Social Planning Council of Ottawa, where we'll be engaging 45 youth and 60 community members in workshops about sustainable futures.
Now, we have 4 revenue-generating offerings that meet distinct needs and also ensure scalable delivery. So, of course, we have our facilitated workshops, we have a downloadable toolkit, a standalone card game, and advisory and co-design services.
In just over 1 year, we'll be hosting 31 workshops, selling 138 toolkit sales, and have a 70% success rate from advisory calls. In total, we'll have $42,000 of projected revenue, as well as we'll also have engaged over 300 youth.
And our vision doesn't just stop in Ottawa. Global sponsorships and partnerships will fund Belonging Studio sessions in cities around the world. Our workshops, we don't just invite and engage youth. We're also training the new cohort of local facilitators who'll be bringing the Belonging Studio in their own cities, replicating and adapting this experience in their own context as well.
Local facilitators will have access to a global network which includes shared resources such as a multilingual toolkit and a subscription platform. Now, belonging will be integrated in civic infrastructure through the Belonging Studio globally in local contexts, ensuring systems change and long-term community impact.
And of course, the most exciting part, to bring the Belonging Studio from a prototype to a scalable model, we are seeking $30,000. This investment will fund 8 sessions, will help us finalize the toolkit, as well as expand our strategic partnerships and outreach.
With youth loneliness at an all-time high, the moment to act is now. We hope to connect with you after this pitch. We'll be around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Youth Relays. I'm going to start the questions off with Kenny this time.
Thank you. Well done for addressing a very important problem out there. You made reference to certified facilitators in different cities. Can you explain how you're going to work on this? Thank you.
For sure. So basically, our toolkit will be a PDF downloadable resource that will explain in detail how others, organizers, and facilitators can also replicate the same experience and how they can deliver the workshops in cities around the world. So we're hoping to secure global sponsorships and partnerships that would allow us to expand the Belonging Studio and take this on another level.
Thank you. Marcus.
I'm coming back to the question that I had at the very beginning for the team, and it's the competitive landscape. I would be very interested in understanding who are the other solutions that you are competing with. Oh, you have a slide for that.
Yes. So there are a variety of different organizations that also work with youth, and more specifically with mental health. Jack.org, Design for Change, and Mind Your Mind are some of those organizations. What makes us different is that we focus specifically on loneliness, and we also specifically focus on belonging. One other thing that makes us unique is that we focus on infrastructure, how different youth can be integrated into questions around decision-making with respect to belonging and what that could look like.
Thank you. And Juan Pablo.
You mentioned that you will be relying on local facilitators. How would you ensure the quality of these local facilitators when you're scaling up?
We will have surveys and feedback evaluations created prior to each of the sessions. We've already done this for our pilot immersive, just to get a sense of how our facilitation has been received by the participants. So once we continue refining and building on our own facilitation skills, that would help us be able to develop a toolkit that also aligns and gives the best advice for other facilitators to be able to deliver a high quality service around the world.
We will also be hosting facilitator trainings. They will be 1 or 2 days each, where we'll certify local facilitators in different parts of the world to ensure the quality of that training.
Great. Thank you to Sarah and Amel. And now, for the final team of BeChangeMaker 2025, we have team PaperPods, representing Indonesia and represented by Tanya and Ivane. PaperPods turn paper waste into plantable paper, crafted by senior women, creating purpose and income from what others discard. So please put your hands together for team PaperPods.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya from PaperPods. We are regenerating new life from paper waste by recycling, replanting, but also empowering. Since I was a kid, I loved playing in nature. But as I grew up, nature is fading away. So I make it my life mission to empower more people to save nature together with me. In a bigger context, Indonesia, my country, is known as one of the world's lungs. But we are losing 5 times more forests due to the rising demand of pulp and also paper production. Businesses actually plays a big role in it. Half of the paper waste comes from business operations. At the same time, they also have the growing pressure to meet ESG pressure goals. Although they are part of the problem, they can also be part of the solution. So, solutions in the market actually sometimes stop at recycling, but it is actually not enough. With PaperPods, our solution have paper that is embedded with seeds, so that after you use it, you can just throw it and it will grow back to the natural cycle. How it works? First, we collect paper waste from corporates with a waste collection box. Then we will recycle it, empowering women artisans who recycle. It will then be recycled into a plantable product. that is made to replace any single-use marketing needs that corporates may use, from notebooks, souvenirs, name card, packagings. And then can be bring home, and we have also put some cards on your seats as well, so you can check it and also bring it home, throw it after you use it, because it will grow into new plants, like this. So this is an engagement and educational tool to empower people for nature. Our business model comes from two models. First, you can just buy the products, or second, you can also subscribe to our waste collection box. With the support of BeChangeMaker, we have activated our Dropbox program. As an example, with the National Bank of Indonesia launching with the sea levels, because they want to track their waste for their ESG reports. Second, we collaborate with the Jakarta Land Recycling Movement. Lastly, all of the waste will be recycled into a new product like this, like name card that our customer use. It's a 360 circularity with PaperPods, and we are endorsed publicly by the CEO of National Bank of Indonesia, who said that it can be replicated into 200 bank branches in Indonesia. Because our model is not just in the paper product, but also the activation times more. The market is ready, they're just waiting for us to scale up. So we are open for angel investment that can help us to accelerate the production capacity and also reducing the lead time and making more efficient. Not just paper, it's also about people. Our PaperPods is empowering more retired women, giving them new income, purpose, and also belonging. So I'm Tania from PaperPods. Join us in giving new hope to nature and to women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanya. We'll start the last questions off with Juan Pablo.
Thank you for the excellent presentation. What is the key indicator that will define your impact?
Thank you for the question. So the key indicator of our impact will be separated into three. First is the environmental impact. In the environmental impact, we will convert all this paper recycled into how much trees that can be avoided to be cut down to produce new paper, and also how much carbon emission reduced from there. And then second, not just that, the method of handmade recycling will also save water because we are reusing the water. And then second is the activity and engagement impact. For example, in the corporate engagement session that we host, we want to track also how many employees participated, what is their satisfaction rate, and then how many people empowered to take action for the nature. So it is for the ESG reporting. Third is the social impact, how many income is uplifted to our retired women, and also how many households that is empowered through the income that they get. Okay.
Thank you. Kenny, over to you.
Well done for the presentation. I like that you combined nature and women as well. I wanted to ask, how are you going to ensure quality of your products even though they are single-use products? Thank you.
The quality control? Okay. Thank you for the question. So first, the quality control is we spend a lot of time for R&D. So we have an SOP that we documented, like all the recipes, like how many grams. So everything that is produced will be the same, even though the people who produce it will be a different people. That's first. Second, after it is produced, we make sure that every quality is the same. And then we also separate which one is the not good one and which one is the good one. We have our operational quality check procedure as well.
Thank you. And the final question, Marcus.
Thank you. So when I think of paper, I frequently think of government, that they use a lot of paper. Have you any government conversations, and how did they go, or would you plan having those?
Thank you for the question. Really agree with you. Like governments use a lot of paper, and one of the experience for us with governments is the one that we show, the National Bank of Indonesia. So first, they are using a lot of paper, not for just the legal documentation, but also their printings, reports, and else. So that's first. Second, because government needs to be a pioneer of sustainability. So with them, the collaboration is very synchronized because they're also excited to share this so that later the private companies will be following their footprints. So that's how, and we always share our impact publicly together with them. We're doing press release, social media collaboration, and the result is other banks is now approaching us to do the same.
Amazing. Thank you, Tanya, and thank you, Team PaperPods.
And if I may add, those who have seen us being on our phones and tablets, we were not checking emails where we're doing voting. Just saying that there's no wrong impression.
And speaking of that, I'm going to allow you about 30 more seconds, and that's a decision that I do not envy, but 30 more seconds to enter your votes. Same goes to the crowd in the room here today. Please finalize all your voting. I will step off stage shortly, get handed a piece of paper like at the Oscars, and then I'll be back up here to let you know who the winner is. That being said, obviously the top 5 teams that are here are already all winners. All top 5 teams will receive 1,000 euros worth of post-program coaching, and then the top 3 teams will each receive 2,000 euros cash prize to go towards their project. So I'll step off stage shortly, and I'll be right back. Okay, let me check. Yeah, it's good. No, finalized. Okay. I have my piece of paper, and I have the top 5 teams of this year's program. What we're going to do for the awards is each team will get a certificate, and the top 3 teams will get a trophy. To hand out those certificates and trophies, I'm going to invite Bridget Collins, the board member from WorldSkills International from Australia, up to stage. And I'm also going to invite Marcus Schwertel from HP to come help out as well. Great. I'll go grab it. So, the team that is in 5th place is Team Youth Relinked from Canada. Do you guys want to just come here? Yeah. Great, thank you so much. And one more time for Team U3 Links. And then the team in fourth place is Team AsMask from Denmark. Congratulations, Team AsMask. Oh. And now, in third place, we've got Team PaperPods from Indonesia. Congratulations. Congratulations, Teams PaperPods. And now, in second place, we have Team Regen from Nepal. Great, thank you so much. And now, as you might have guessed, the winner of BeChangeMaker 2025 is Team GlovaTrix from India. Yes. And now we're going to invite all teams up on the stage. We'll invite all teams up on the stage. We'll invite our two judges as well to come and take a big group photo on stage. Great. Oh, Michelle. Come. Fantastic. Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming to the final pitch of BeChangeMaker 2025. Thank you to the teams. Thank you to the judges. And thank you to WorldSkills Publisher. Thank you. I'll hand back over to